So now, other than Elani, we were supposed to have somebody. I know you saw the promo, but this business of ours is a very interesting, tricky business. Unajua wase wengine watu wakikuwa unafanya kitu, they're like, oh manze pia sisi tunafaa tuchukue msanii. Unajua creativity. Anyway, I don't want to go into that. But we have Coconut on the other side. So Coconut tonight is going to be reading your social media messages. So keep them coming in. The hashtag Hey Amina at the Trend Live. Coconut, tunataka kusalimia wase.
Yes, naweza salimiana.
Salimiana, brother.
The show is on fire. Yeah? Na kama mtu ako na jiko unaweza zima na tusisumbuane. Na tunataka kwanza tukapeleke hivyo alafu ikifika saa 6 tukafanye hivi kama mkono ya Murkomen. Si ndio? Haya, Amina kwako.
Coconut. So he's going to be reading the messages tonight on the show, so keep them coming in. In fact, tonight, we do need you to contribute to our conversation this evening. This is a tough one, a bit controversial, and one that a lot of parents never want to have with their kids. It's a conversation that you try to make sure that maybe the teacher can have it. You know, you hope that maybe you will not be forced to have this discussion as a mother and as a father, and I'm talking about sex and contraceptives. Now, according to the Kenya Demographic and Health Survey 2014, the national teenage pregnancy prevalence rate is at 18%. And it's getting worse. A study titled The State of Kenyan Youth 2018 revealed that for youths aged between 20 to 24, females, that is, were more sexually active at 40%, and that is compared to males at 33%. Now, here in Kenya, those are the counties, by the way, with the highest teenage pregnancy rate. So we're seeing Narok at 40%, Homa Bay at 33%, West Pokot at 29%, we're seeing Tana River at 28%, Nyamira at 28%. There's also Samburu at 26%, Migori at 24%, Kwale at 24%, Bomet at 24% as well, and Trans Nzoia 1% lower at 23%. Now, the question is, do these statistics call for attention, or will we as a country just continue to bury our head in the sand? So here on The Trend, we say, no, that's not what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it. Because if we have young people aged between 15 to 24, they account for 9.8 million Kenyans. That's 19% of our Kenyan population. 35% is of, the working population. That is between 15 and 64. That's a huge number, right? And then 39% of the reproductive age between 15 and 49. That's also a huge percentage. Now, teenage pregnancy here in this, country has been a conversation that we've been trying to have for a couple of years now. We have, some vox pops that we went out and asked you some questions. We're going to be taking a look at that. We want you to send in your feedback, though, tonight by getting in touch with us online, hashtag Hey Amina at the Trend Live. And I've got some guests with me tonight. Hi, guys. Hi. How are you? So all of you are under 21. All of us were under 21. Sindio,
okay.
Daktari?
Yes,
Sindio, of course.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
But let me have you guys introduce yourselves, starting with Roberta.
Hi guys, I'm Roberta Bobby and I'm an erotic blogger. Yeah.
Oh, well, Charlie did not know that clearly.
I had no idea. Sitting next to greatness. This is me. I'm Charlie Karobi, TV, radio host, cool guy in general, kinda smart. That's me.
Kinda.
Kinda.
Emphasis on the kinda. Huge emphasis.
Natalie Gedenji, content creator and actress.
Yes, soon to be mega star.
Yeah,
watch
Hollywood, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Thank you. So my name is Dr. Pahi Rogo. I work with PS Kenya supporting HIV programming and sexual and reproductive health.
All right. Now, thank you so much for coming through. Now, as you could see, this is Natalie, why are you nodding already?
Yeah, that point is so strong.
That I've not yet said.
I can feel you.
You can feel it coming.
You made it clear to me
The energy.
I seem to be the only guy here, and I'm feeling a bit threatened.
Yeah.
We'll make you comfortable.
Don't feel threatened.
Yeah.
And you know what's so interesting is that we're seeing more girls who are more sexually active than boys, which is very different. How is it like with your peers when you're having these conversations, genuinely?
But boys in locker room talk, they're always, oh, look, damn, really feeling. But I feel like most of it is just talk, maybe, for the guys, because you sound cooler if you say, oh, that girl, that girl, that girl. But I think girls, I watched a movie once that had a quote that girls are the only people who can say, I'm going out tonight and I'm doing this, and they'll actually do it. Men can only wish. Like, that's all we do. We just wish to do something. But
You just wish?
Yeah, girls have the superpower in that if they say they're going home with that guy today, it's gonna happen.
They will.
A guy might say, oh, I'm going out with that girl, but nah, it's just wishing. So
Okay.
So I feel like that's the case with guys. It's a lot of talk.
Yeah.
All bark, no bite.
That is so true. That is so true. They lie. There's some stories you're like, Atimi, I did
Yeah.
what with who? Which guy? I don't even know. I might talk to him once. And then they start that story. But you know, for you, Roberta, having your blog has a lot of people who come to you with questions about sex, you know, and just sexual reproductive health in general. But do you feel like this is the time for this sober conversation to happen?
Yeah, I feel like this conversation is long overdue. We needed to have begun talking about all this a long time ago because it's happening and we need to deal with everything matters of sex. The consequences and everything about sex. So I feel like it's about time we just accept that things are happening and we need to stop hiding behind everything. Yeah.
Now, I mean, Daktari, I think I need to ask you this. We
Yeah.
need to have that discussion, so let's have it. We're having it right now.
Okay.
Now, there is a study that was conducted, and this is, what was the study? It was from as a Research Plus Africa. They did a study that showed 65% of young people, right, aged between 15 and 24 are sexually active. Now, young girls, though, they attribute to a huge percentage. Now, the study says 71% of young girls in urban centers are more sexually active as compared to their male counterparts at 23%. This is data that is contrary to previous years. What changed?
So I wouldn't say I've collected particular data that would maybe account for the differences, but I think what we've seen over time, I mean, there's a lot of influence, there's a lot of pressure on girls to be a particular way. There's a lot of pressure on girls to do particular things. There's a lot of pressure for them to act particular ways, to maintain particular lifestyles. And then that brings in the component of having to have multiple partners. I mean, girls have some partners that are mainly just to sort out a few things, right? Some, I mean, you get someone who only sorts out your hair, then you get some other guys who only sorts out your rent. So you get the girls tend to, I mean, you'd have a variety depending on the needs and you need sorted out. But for a man, I think sex is a bit different. It might not necessarily be transactional, really. I mean, I wouldn't want to use a bad word, but it might not be for those particular purposes. But I think the other thing that makes girls vulnerable is the homes that they're brought up in. Sometimes socioeconomic factors play in, poverty plays in. In some of the slum populations, we hear that girls actually become sexually active as young as 8, 9 years old because they're trying to fend for their families. They're sleeping with older men, charging maybe 10, 20 shillings a day just to be able to fend for their family. So there are multiple factors that bring in the difference, but of course research can be done to actually bring out a lot more knowledge. Yeah.
In fact, as we talk about, you know, the issue of girls dating older men, it's on the rise now. Masponyo, sijui kuna jina zingine kazi zimetokea, blessers in SA. There's, you know, all types of names that we give it, but this is not a new phenomenon. Like, this hasn't come with the Gengeton generation. I'm kidding. But like, it hasn't, you know what I mean? Like, this has been there for a really long time.
Yeah.
Why is it more now? Why is it more prevalent now?
I would give an opinion that is my own, but I think social media has had a lot to play with. I mean, some years back when I was growing up, and I'm still 21 anyway, but some years back when I was a lot younger, I mean, I would see some actress on TV, but that was about it. I mean, in movies, right?
Yeah.
But now I have access to all that. I have access to anybody that I idolize on my phone. So I get to see the kind of lifestyle that they have, and I get to want that. Some few months ago, there was a video about a girl who said, I mean, my role model is Beyonce. I want to be like her. I want to have what she has. But Beyonce is talented, and she has the platform to allow her express her talent. But if you're a young girl from Homa Bay County, then you don't get that platform. So then what is the next available way for you to be able to get that lifestyle without having that platform? Then it becomes the, what did you call them? Sponye?
Sponyo.
All right. Those ones. So the alternative means for me to be able to get what I want and still live that lifestyle, then becomes those are the ways where now girls find it necessary to become sexually active very early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a very odd question?
Okay,
I don't know.
Ask everyone individually.
Can I ask you,
I know what
Charlie?
you're gonna- yeah.
Can I ask you, Charlie? How was it the first time that you watched porn?
Hey, mom. Hi, mother.
Were you, right?
Yeah.
Did it mess up with you psychologically?
No, I think for a lot of us young, oh, my mother, wow, I'm sorry, Mama Karoli. So I feel like that's the way a lot of young people learn actually what goes into what, because like the conversations, you don't really sit down with like your father and he tells you, okay,
This
so
is
when
what
you're
happens.
when you're having sex, this is what happens. Like everyone, it's like that an unsaid thing where your dad looks at you and he assumes you know. It's like, yeah, you know the deal.
You get it.
So like porn, as bad as it is, it kind of gives you an idea as to what goes where.
As to what happens.
As to what happens.
Yeah, so
and
but
a
you
bad
don't have any
idea,
proper
actually.
information.
Say again?
And that's not where you should get the proper information.
It's not because they are. It's the same way. It's the same way I liken it to how ladies and a few guys learn what love is supposed to be from soap operas.
True.
Like, oh, the man is supposed to do this, but that's not how love is. So it's the same thing with porn. That's not how intimacy is supposed to be. And I just said on national television that I was porn. Fun times. Trending.
Look at you just
Love
winning.
it.
Future CS,
Love
future
it.
governor. We'll
Love
just
it.
get this interview.
Yeah, it will be fine. I'll be at my campaign like I did not. Yeah.
I did not
That
say.
was
Oh, I know what you wanted to say. I know what you wanted to say.
Have relations with that woman.
Thank you. I could see it coming. I could see it coming. Oh, I could see it coming. Wow. Anyway, now. But this is the thing, though. But we don't talk about it, though.
Yeah,
we don't talk
Yeah.
about it. Natalie, who did you ever have that conversation with? With Charlie.
No, I'm joking. No, hey, conversation, peer pressure, shule. So you're just talking, and guys are like, "Hey, me, I've slept with these kind of guys," and you're just there like, "Okay, so I've not slept with people, and these times I've not done this, man."
Yeah.
So you go and try. That was the problem. Porn was actually so bad because, imefika extreme. You just, but you know, why are you laughing, Charlie?
Charlie, anapata simu ya madhaki.
Yeah, it's about to
so,
ring right now.
Ukisikia peer pressure, your friends have slept with guys and you have not, you feel like, hey man, I need to go and do this because, hey, jiangu manzeni, these guys have slept with men, I need to do that. Yeah.
Now, you know, you keep hearing, I'm so sure you keep hearing this from your parents and from older people who are not us, okay?
Because you're not old, you guys are 21.
Thank you, 21,
Yeah,
21. But,
yes.
you know, when you have this conversation, you can clearly tell that it's just very different right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what age do you think is the appropriate age to have this discussion now?
I think as soon as a kid is starting to become aware, you need to start it in bits, introducing them to what is what, how you need to take care of yourself, your body parts, even too, slowly, and then as it progresses, of course, the conversations change with your kid as they're growing, as they're getting into teenagehood, they're learning this stuff in school. So they're becoming more aware about everything that's happening and the changes in their body. I feel like this is when you're supposed to be able to know how to introduce the conversation to them, so that, because I feel like the problem we have is that we're not discussing this.
Do you know
we're
why
not
we don't
talking
discuss
about
it? Genuinely, I think it's because people just think they don't know,
Yeah.
they don't know, and then you're just like,
Yeah.
boom, umetoa wapi mtoto?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
Oh
that
my
needs to
God.
stop, because that's why, you see, that's why the prevalence of pregnancies is increasing, because we're not ready to have these conversations. We think that most parents are living these conversations, want to pay responsibility to the teachers at school, and then we're learning these things from our friends. I know if we did a survey, you'd find out that almost 90% of the people in this room learned about porn and sex and contraception from their friends or from the internet, which is not supposed to be the case, because you wouldn't know how to control it, you wouldn't know how to take care of things. So yeah, I feel like there's a discord between, I don't know if it's generational, but I feel like we need to talk about it, because we have all this information at large now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get back and actually talk about contraceptives. I want to hear what you guys think about contraceptives. I want to know if you even try it out, because I understand you're more scared of getting pregnant than you are of anything else. That's number one. Now, we did this story as NTV a while back when the education CS was Amina Mohammed, and she was commenting on pregnancies among schoolgirls. And this is what she had to say. Take a look.
Well, the 2018 Kenya Certificate of Primary Education examination has concluded with its fair share of the unusual. More than 20 candidates reportedly wrote their exams in health facilities, having given birth shortly before or during the 3-day exam period. While some of the candidates reportedly sat their exams while pregnant, others gave birth in school. Education Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohammed has now ordered the Quality Assurance Team in the Ministry of Education to investigate all cases of pregnancies among girls in schools, a matter that has raised questions on the need to incorporate sex education in the curriculum.
All of us need to self-reflect and really think seriously about what is happening in our country, how we are not protecting those that God gave to us to protect, right? A child is a gift, and that will never change, right? Whether that child is born by a 13-year-old or by a 40-year-old. Let's not expose them to things that they're not supposed to be exposed to at such a tender age.
The debate on whether to introduce sex education in both primary and secondary school fizzled out 3 years ago. It may just be time to resuscitate it.
All right, well, there you go. Now, that happened a while back. Not much has been done so far. Daktari, you could say that?
Yeah, not so much. I mean, I wouldn't say that there's been any deliberate effort to actually change that trend, but I do know that there are discussions within the Ministry of Health and with various stakeholders to see exactly what can be done to change that story. Yeah.
Now, I mean, taking a look back, Natalie, as we keep looking at the data, we're seeing that young girls are being affected more than, boys, which is, again, very surprising. It's different as to how it's always, look at Sally's thinking. It's like, yeah, it just used to be different.
I actually got an idea about that. It's because I feel, and this is very unfair, older guys prey on younger girls. There's no, the instances of an older woman going for a younger boy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
no.
have you read the article on Nairobi News about
Which one?
cougar
There are
women and how
several.
their pages on Facebook and how you could make a lot of money?
Yeah.
But
Look
it's
at you
not as-
considering. He's like, at a group gani?
But no, I feel like that's a reason because like a lot of times like it's like older men going like for younger girls, which is like not fair at all. And anyway, that's what I think. Opinion.
Yes, no problem, which is why you're here, you guys. So Natalie, at what time do you wish you had this discussion? Who do you wish you talked to about this? Who could have given you the right tools, You know what?
I wish I knew this when I was 9. Yo.
Really?
Yeah. Because, your parents can't talk to you about that. They always like, kikitu kikitokea hapo kipicha fani, enda uoshe mabati. Like they can't talk, you can't tell them, they can't talk to you about that. They feel, I feel like they feel shy, maybe they feel your time is ready for you to know about sex. But then now, unaenda shule, biology there, teacher like, hey, there's sex, it feels nice. You're like, I'm gonna try this because bucket list tick. So I wish I knew this earlier, and some of my friends, because you'd never end up being pregnant, and the diseases and blah blah blah.
Yeah. So you said 9, Charlie?
No, I think I'll go because it has to be. I'm not sure there's an exact age because people.
No, for you specifically as Charlie, what age do you wish you had this discussion?
12, 13.
9, 8, 9. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, teen. Usimumtu.
No, I was a late bloomer in so many ways. So for me, you came to me with this information when I was 9. I'd be like, a woman has a what between her legs? I would have no idea. No, I barely did. I still
Manze, unacheki suburbia, venye vitu zilikuwa different. Buda
Suburbia, Odhero, hapo Regen.
Venye English yako saina sound posh. Manze tell you may change. Tell me Hollywood.
Nah, things don't change. Tulikuwa na Denzel hapo hivyo akanishow. Yeah. So
13, 9, 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
Now, if we talk about contraception.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to talk. I like how you say back in the day. I think it's like pre-colonization era. But at that time, we talk more about abstinence.
Yes, we did.
But today, that's not even on the table.
Yeah.
So is there? I mean, do we then now bring? That's why it just makes more sense for us to talk about contraception.
Yeah.
Which used to be a conversation reserved for married couples.
Yes, that would be accurate. So, I like you say, some time back, abstinence used to be it. And I think even our religious inclinations would actually drive us toward that, because then, I mean, it was, if a girl was spotted to be pregnant, I mean, the village would break, literally. But now, looking at the statistics, I mean, you're looking at 10-year-olds who are pregnant, 11-year-olds who are pregnant. And I know some of the work that's been done within programs, and especially with the HIV program, is to begin to do an assessment for girls as soon as they turn 10 years old and find out if they're sexually active and begin to give them contraception at an early age, especially if the parents actually consent for the same. So I like Roberta's idea that you would sort of want to do it in an age-appropriate manner, looking at the context within which that family is in, looking at how much is the child exposed to these things, and then giving the information depending on what the parent assesses that could be appropriate for the child at that time. Yeah.
Oh, Roberta, you wanted to add?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
but do you think Kenye ilifanyika alafu tena wase wakashtuka venye tukaanza kuona hizi ngoma za gengetoni? You're like, whoa, what is all this? What is happening? We're just getting so shocked, but that's a discussion.
It's been happening.
Yeah, people are talking about sex all the time.
Yeah.
But they're talking about it, they don't know what it is, they don't understand it.
Yeah.
But I just want to know, why is it that you're more scared of getting pregnant than contracting HIV, AIDS, or any other sexually transmitted disease?
If you've seen a child.
Kwa ground, mtoto, sisi kunomo.
I've actually done research on this, and I asked a few people when I was in school. I did a paper on it. People are scared to be seen pregnant because you see that's physical evidence. That shows you are having sex. They feel like they don't really think about HIV, they don't think about the aftermath, they don't think about the medication, they don't think about the whole process of everything they'll have to go through when, if they get sick. Of which, yeah, it's controllable, but why not prevent it instead? So I feel like they're just scared of being seen. And then also there's the financial liabilities that it comes with. Because of course, when a teen is getting pregnant, they're not financially stable unless maybe, even if your parents are from Sijui Wapi, it's not, you should be able to take care of your kid when you're ready to get one. So yeah, I feel like that's why people are scared. They feel like if it's HIV, no one is going to know I'm taking medication. No one is going to know I have it. It's not showing. I don't have a banner on my forehead. Yeah.
Now, the Research Plus Africa survey that I was talking about also talked about, 53% of young people try out contraceptives, but only 29% keep on using it every single time that they have sex. Do young girls, have the opportunity to school themselves on contraceptives?
I don't feel like this is about schooling. As long as you don't want to get pregnant, you'll have to use the contraceptives. You just have sex and you're like, lazy.
Yeah, so you don't check like, about the hormonal or the non-hormonal.
You just check how many days that it will work. Oh, after 3 days it won't work, blah, 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 you take. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, there are two non-hormonal, means of contraception. There is the wire, and then there is a condom. Now, as we know, condoms are 99%. I think that depends on brand. Mr. Dre, me, I'm married. I don't know. It's a joy. And then, of course, there are others. Please do go and learn about it. And a while back, a lot of government clinics would give it for free. And a lot of us didn't know that. Now, there was a clip that I saw recent. This was a couple of months back as well. Aisha Juma said this, right? If you are a teenager, you get pregnant, you get sent to the doghouse. Take a look.
Lakini tatizo moja hapa, mtoto akitiwa mimba msichana anayechukuliwa hatua peke yake na kuwekwa ndani na wazazi wake kuhangaika ni mtoto wa kivulana. Mimi nataka niseme hivi, sheria ni msumeno, unakata mbele na nyuma. Wewe msichana ukikubali, wewe msichana pamoja na mvulana nyote mtiwe ndani, bwana DCC uko hapa. Wewe uende ukadai mimba yako huko ndani na kijana akuwe huko ndani. Ndio mukome hizi tabia zenu za kipuuzi. Wewe unajifanya msichana mdogo ati nilidanganywa mimi nikapewa shilingi 50. Mbona huku itupa na wewe hujui manake? Hiyo shilingi 50 mbona huku itupa? Nataka
Hakuitupa kwa sababu labda kwao hawana chakula, labda hawana maji, labda wana mahitaji mengi sana, na mtu akakupatia shilingi 50 ambayo hujaona wiki nzima, na huwezi kuirusha na huwezi kuitupa kwa sababu sisi sote tuko tofauti. Si ndio? So you have more money, I don't have, so the 50 bob to you means nothing, but to me,
it's everything.
It's a lot. And I don't have information, again, so I don't know.
Wait, is it illegal to have coitus when you're a teenager? Is it actually illegal? Can they actually throw people in jail?
I don't think they should.
Asking for a friend.
I know that, of course, if an adult.
Yeah, definitely, like statutory, whatever. But like two, I don't know, like she's like
I think there's a portion of the law that talks about holding the parents accountable in the event that you have two minors having sex before 18 years old. But I wouldn't say that's been affected particularly. So it's a gray area. I don't think anyone has actually, because if your son, okay, so for older people, I mean, we said we're young. So if our neighbors, really older people had two of their kids, I mean, one of them impregnated the other, and one is 16 and one is 13, you really don't find that situation where that's taken up to court or anything. You find families actually settle that,
They do.
I mean, if it's in the village, it's a chicken here, a cow, a goat there, and then it's settled, and then you've taken up a wife and all that. But I haven't really seen somebody actually follow through on the law. But legally, the person who's supposed to be held accountable, if I'm not wrong, is supposed to be the parent. But like you said, so if you're an older man preying on a younger girl, then yes, you're the one who's supposed to be held accountable, and vice versa. So if you're an older woman preying on a younger guy, on a younger boy or man, then the woman then gets held responsible.
All right, but I mean, I think, you know, a better solution will be coming up with policies or maybe sex education in school. But all right, so now we did ask you some of these questions when we went out to the streets, and you were very kind enough to respond to us, and these are some of your comments.
We are not in. We are not in.
We're not in something. All right, so now unfortunately, as you can tell, imekataa. There was a glitch. Kuna mtu amekanyaga waya fulani, kuna mtu amekanyaga waya fulani.
Natalie plays an amazing Duncan. Like she plays a Duncan.
Oh, she knows Duncan.
Yeah, she knows. That's,
you know
that's her voice. Yeah. So
oh,
Duncan,
that's your boy.
what do you have to say about this?
What do you have to say? Oh, even you're hanging.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're hanging.
Yeah. So we're in a relationship.
Oh my days. Anyway, now listen. Unfortunately, we couldn't go on and on and on with this the entire show. But, you know, one of the things I have to ask Jack, so I'm so sorry, give me 2 minutes. Data from the 2017 Kenya AIDS Response Progress Report says that girls aged between 15 and 24 now account for the highest number of new infections. The group accounts for 1/3 of the 44,789 new HIV adult infections. In turn, this means 14,929 girls. 14,929 girls aged between 15 and 24 were infected in 2017 alone.
Yes, so
does this worry you, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's
Chad,
documented.
that's so that's what the data
so there's
was
other
showing.
cases.
There are other cases.
Yeah.
Adolescent sexual behavior has been the subject of heated national debates, you know, for some time now. And, you know, broader socioeconomic factors such as poverty and lack of reproductive healthcare services, you know, lack of education, limited economic opportunities. That's why you take that 50 bob. And that's among girls may contribute to adolescent pregnancy rates. Now, parents and politicians and policymakers have all blamed, you know, the runaway sexual activity among Kenya's young people on poor parenting and, of course, declining moral standards. But where does the buck stop? For me, I think it stops with the parent. For you?
The parent, actually mostly the parent. I know there's a role that teachers play in other people, but I would say the parent.
All right, so I'll take this as a final comments as well. Dr. Anything else you want to add?
I think what I wanted to add to the data about adolescent girls, I think people need to realize, and especially adolescent girls are listening to me out there, that anatomically in the age 10 to 19, girls are vulnerable to HIV significantly higher than they would be beyond that age because the makeup, they're still immature, they have parts of their bodies that are still growing up, so that makes them significantly at a significantly high risk to contract HIV from just one sexual encounter, as opposed to women at of a higher age. So I think if a girl wants to actually start being sexually active, try and find somebody who's knowledgeable to prepare you, to walk you through, and to prepare you so that you know what you're getting into, and then you're not one of the statistics.
Okay, Natalie?
Parents, teachers, and friends also, because if you have friends that know about this, then they should actually talk to you. You tell them your problems, blah blah blah, and you know what to do, what not to do. Mambo ya kupata watoto here and there is just not right because hatupati hiyo story education. Also, Charlie, talk to me about that because it's so bad. It's so bad if I get pregnant and you're here and you know about it. This girl doesn't talk to people. And you know.
I'm talking
Charlie,
to
why
the
would you
country.
be the one? It's so funny. She's like, why you not the one telling her
I've been asking
about
him,
the pregnancy
so
thing?
Charlie, like I have this boy who's telling me that I should go and have not chilnishke call. Why?
No, wow.
You know, actually, let me. There's someone calling me. Can I take?
What?
Okay. So is a trolley situation in here. What's your opinion?
That was an iPhone. You know we're not going to buy that.
Yeah, it's only 100K.
She threw it.
No matter.
She clean it. No,
I hate calls
and then,
during
wait,
calls.
I have
When you're live.
I have a quick one. I have a quick one. I feel like phone aside.
I can't even. Okay.
Phone aside,
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes parents feel, I had like a few sessions that teacher in my primary school, Mr. Ogutu, he used to take like boys to the corner of the field. We thought it was weird, but I actually learned things. But I feel like parents.
When you say, you don't have to be very specific. When you say he used to take me in the field in a
No,
corner,
a group of
I had sessions with a t-shirt. I'm like, we need to reprimand.
No,
this
no.
teacher.
You used to take us to the corner of the field, sit us down and go like, boys, you know, girls do this. It was like, to me that time it was weird. So I feel like parents don't do that because they feel like maybe if I tell them about sex, now they'll start having sex. Like, but they're going to start having it regardless. So talk to them about it so it's not weird. That's all I want to say. That's it.
I think parents, it's the parents' responsibility. Parents, and then everything else is just an addition. Yeah, that's what I think. Let's talk about sex.
Yeah, well, okay.
Wow.
Let's talk
about
her blog, though, talks all about sex. Let me just say this on air. Now, I've known Roberta ever since she was like maybe 3 years old. Yani, when I found out Roberta has a sex blog, I was like, but I changed her diaper. What are you talking? She knows what that is. I was so confused. But she does have an erotic blog. Please do check it out. It's called what?
Love and Orgasm.
Love
We are about to subscribe.
No, Toto. Anyway, mimi acha tu ni ombe kidogo, alafu tutafanya the next interview. Let's take a short break. We're going to be back with more. This is The Trend.